I don't normally do reviews of kit. While I was hunting around on the internet, I struggled to find data or kind of any information on the various attachments for the Nikon Z 14 to 24 f2.8, because obviously it comes with different hoods and a big kind of lens cap. This appears to be a standard hood, the HB96, but doesn't take a filter. And then this one is the larger one that's got a thread on the inside to take filters. The only thing I found, it is plastic, and filters don't appear to connect very well with the thread on the inside, so it's difficult to know whether or not you've cross-threaded such a large piece of glass. The other thing I found with this was that certainly with the landscape photography I've done, where I've been shooting with the kind of sun behind me or to the side, you do get light leakage kind of across the top into the lens. Now it's not massive, and I think if you're just using a filter, it might not necessarily be too much of a challenge, but if you're using a filter holder or something, that can make a difference. And certainly even with this filter on the front here, I've noticed some glare on images I've got. I may try and put one in the corner here on this video. So I've been using these kind of NiSi filters, which I managed to get when they were on offer. So I just decided to buy the whole lot, which included the NiSi Lens Hood. Now, I have to say this is extremely well made. It's made out of a kind of looks to be a single piece of metal. It's got a really nice thread on the inside, and because of the way it's designed, the light actually doesn't squeeze through the sides, which is the issue you have with this one here. It's mainly in two places around the gaps. It's possibly that it's because of the locking mechanism that Nikon have employed on this, whereas on this NiSi one there isn't that kind of click mechanism that you have on the Nikon one. Instead you have to just tighten this thing up here. Now a lot of people have said, oh well, it's going to damage the lens. Well, you know, you haven't got to be a Goliath to tighten this up. It's just got to be finger tight, so the hood doesn't slip off. And just looking at my lens at the moment, it hasn't marked it, and it's been on there a good while. So I literally just took this off because I've been using it a lot, just to clean it, and I need to clean the filter. Now I do leave a filter on all the time, mainly so I don't get any sort of dust into the front element. I know there's a huge debate over the practicalities of these, but for me I purchased it to protect my extremely expensive lens. So this screws in really well into the front here, and you get a good seal on the filter itself, and then obviously it just clips over. And the good thing about this is that the normal Nikon lens hood fits it. It doesn't really add any particular weight to the hood. And this pin doesn't appear to get in the way. I thought it would do, because it's slightly proud. I think if they'd made it slightly smaller, you would have struggled to get your fingers on it, but it does sit slightly proud, but it doesn't get in the way. So I think that's quite important. I've got the filter kit as well, or rather the adapter that NiSi produce to put 100mm, 100 by 150 or 100 by 100mm filters onto the front, and I'll probably get that out a bit and just add that to this video at a later date. But I didn't find much data on this online. So the NiSi hood, it's really well made. Yeah, it is expensive if you haven't got one of the discount codes, but it is extremely well made by comparison to this. It's just a shame that it doesn't click in the same way as the Nikon one. And again, these kind of 112mm filters aren't cheap, but having spent such a large amount of money on a lens, I didn't want to damage the front element, so this seemed like a kind of a logical solution to do, particularly when I'm outside. So I've just took all this off today because I actually wanted to clean it, and while I was doing that I thought I'd just do a quick video. I've also got the circular polarizer, which again was on offer. This extremely good. in terms of how it's been made. Very, very thin, as you can see. The only issue with this is because it is so thin, once you've got it screwed into the hood here, it's actually quite difficult then to kind of get your fingers between the gap here to make sure you can spin it around without unnecessarily unscrewing it. So that's just a consideration to be had. But you know, in terms of the filter options available, this is absolutely beautiful piece.